Hey there, I'm Thomas Salami here with the engineering team at Drift. We're going to be going through how we use the Google APIs to help our customers. We use the Google APIs across all three of our clients, the web app, and both of our mobile apps, one on Android and one on iOS.
Hey Google team, Carlos here with the engineering team at Drift, recording a quick video for you to see how we use the restricted scopes for the Gmail API here within our company. Now, our company helps other businesses sell to businesses in the now, and for the most part, the product that we're known for is our chatbot feature that exists on many websites. We do, however, offer additional products, one in particular being email sequences sending out from our app, and that's where we actually use our product. So I'm going to take you through the workflow of setting up that OAuth flow within the application and showing you how we actually use the scope live. We're logged into Drift here, and we have a setting available that says connect your Gmail account to allow Drift to enroll leads in outbound email sequences and send emails on your behalf. So this is what we use the read-only scope for. I'm going to click connect, and when we connect, we're redirected to the OAuth window. I'm going to snag the URL, and you see the client ID right here, and we will take that URL, paste it here, and snag this client ID right here. Now, when I go into the OAuth settings themselves for this project, you see here that the client ID matches. So Drift Meetings is the name for this particular project, and the client ID matches for that window. So when we go back and we log in here, you see here it says that Drift wants to access your Google account to view your email messages and settings and to send email on your behalf. When we go here to the actual consent screen, we notice that the authorized domain does match, and the application name itself is Drift. So that matches as we expect. I'm going to hit allow here, and we should be redirected here. When I go back to the application, it says your Google account was successfully connected, and we change the state here. So now what this allows us to do is it allows us to send email sequences on behalf of this user. So in this case, the user is me, clazo@drift.com. What we now do is we go to these things that we call playbooks, which allow us to send sequences. And I have an example here called Jerry Sass. And when we look at this really quickly, this is just a sequence of emails that we send on behalf of a user with Gmail set up. So in this case, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 emails set up. The first one being set up as follows, saying, if the first name is present, I'm wondering if we should connect. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enroll someone in the sequence, and it should send things on my behalf. In terms of what we use the actual read-only scope for, before I go ahead and do that, we offer reporting on each of these email playbooks. And that report looks like this. This report shows the amount of people that have been enrolled in addition to the total clicks and the total opens. And we use the read-only scope in particular to track the number of opens and clicks that have happened. We scan the inbox just for Drift-specific messages in order to drive these opens, and we see here a breakdown of the amount of opens and clicks that have happened. We have this functionality available to us via a Chrome extension that we use to inject things into the Gmail window. So here I'm sending a message from my email to clazo plus Google Auth @drift.com. When I click this enroll in sequence button, I get a modal that pops up that shows all of the email playbooks that I have available. So I'm going to pick Jerry Sass, and I'm going to enroll in this sequence. So when I click enroll here, it will enroll the user in this sequence. So we've enrolled the prospect. Wonderful, we exit out of this. And at this point, we should see this number go up eventually. I think our reporting might be a little bit delayed, so we'll see if the report goes up in time. But while this is loading, we can go back over here to Gmail, look at my sent folder, and we see here that on my behalf, we have an email from me sent to that Google Auth address. Hey Carlos, along with the template of that specific email that we saw in the playbook itself. Now this information will be scanned to see if I or anyone opened this. If I click one of these links, this itself will be tracked from our emails within that report. Let me try refreshing again to see if the click persisted. The reporting itself on these playbooks is a bit delayed. We use Elasticsearch and a few other tools on the back end. But the important part here is we sent an email on my behalf. We will scan the email itself to figure out, or the inbox itself rather, to figure out whether information has been clicked or not. And none of the information itself is persisted to any database. We use it solely for reporting purposes. We see here that the enroll number went from 8 up to 9, and the total clicks went up from 3 to 4. We see that right here. The click that I just did on that particular email was in fact registered here, and the enroll went up from 8 to 9, indicating that we had that specific enroll. If we go to the People tab, once the reporting loads, we will see here that this particular user has in fact been enrolled into the sequence. They opened the email and it was clicked. If you have any further questions, please let me know. Email me back. Hopefully this is proven to you how we use the restricted scope. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Hey there, Thomas here again. I'll be taking you through how we use the Google APIs on our two mobile apps, one on iOS and one on Android. It's really important to understand here that the mobile apps are just really an extension to our main web app, and their primary focus is allowing you to respond to customers that chat into your website. So yeah, let's look at the iOS app. So we get to this login screen and we allow actually you to sign in with Google, and we ask you up front for specifically permissions to access your calendar, but as you can see, you're allowed to deny that and you do not have to continue with this. Yeah, and so that actually brings us into the app, as you'll see right after, and now we'll show you how we actually use those permissions. So now that we're in the mobile app and we have those calendar connections set up, when a site visitor comes onto your website and asks you, I want to book a meeting. Well, we use the Google Calendar API to actually help you share a calendar, but you have to explicitly share the calendar here in this situation by clicking on that button on the bottom left. It goes through the flow of asking you for a meeting, what your email is, and then it gives you the calendar. Now, the Android is the same exact experience, and so I'll just play it in this screen and add some more commentary on this. We see the pop-up of asking you for your permissions for strictly the calendar, for sign in with Google, and then we're just going to go through the same flow here of how we actually use this on the mobile app. So a site visitor, as I said, chats in to the Drift widget, and then they ask you, let's book a meeting, or you just want to drop your calendar in some other scenario. You share that calendar. You specifically choose the type of calendar you want to actually share with them, and then you go through that same sequence where the bot asks them for what their email address is, and now the user is able to book a meeting with you, and that is strictly the functionality we have here for the mobile app. And so customer facing, the visitor that actually chatted into the widget will get that screen that asks them to select the time. They select the time, and that meeting gets booked into your calendar.